Hey BoLS fans, AdamHarry back again with another quick BoLS overview. Today we're going to be looking at the new Necromunda Game War 3 gaming supplement. Now this is a softcover book for all your Necromunda goodies. This is the book that's going to be associated with the Van Saar gang, obviously. It's got all their rules in there and a ton more stuff, which we're going to be flipping through real quick. So let's go ahead and get started. Starting off, let's go ahead and flip to the table of contents. I'm going to zoom in real fast so we can get a slightly better look at this. As you can see here, we've got a quick narrative section that's going to go talking about the Underhive War continues. It's going to dive right into House Van Saar and all of their goodies. Expanded house equipment list, which is right here. We have an extra hanger on now. We have the Brutes and some new stuff for them as well, and some new characters. Sprinkled throughout the book, they actually have mercs and stuff like that you can hire. Status items and new changes there. The churning post has got a bit of an update here as well, so there's some extra stuff in there which we'll flip through fairly quickly. And then we have some new campaign stuff as well. Arbitrated Campaigns, kind of like campaigning with a game master, if you will. House favors, and then there's a couple of new scenarios you can see here, quite a few actually. And then it gets into multiplayer games, which actually I'm a big fan of. And then the Underhive Armory, again, more new stuff, warrior, things like that, and then some more extra dramatis personae. So, let's go ahead and flip through real fast. We do have the Underhive War continues and the House of Van Saar lore, which is actually really cool stuff. They have an STC unlike everybody else. That's why their gears are so much better. Unfortunately, it leaks radiation, and they have to trade their wares to House Escher for chemicals to help with their rad sickness, which is also how they have those sweet looking suits. Here's kind of a breakdown of the gang itself. Skill access, you can see here all of their guys have shooting and all of their guys have savant as well, so that's their two kind of primary skills there, if you will. Obviously the leaders can have leadership and some other stuff, cunning and agility. Champions have access to secondary combat and secondary cunning and secondary leadership, which is great. The Juves have agility, and then, of course, shooting and savant. And specialists are going to have combat, cunning, and shooting and savant as well. So, watch out for those guys. Here's a quick rundown on fighters. Don't need to go over that. Here's the Armory as well. They do have some special Nihilist pattern las guns, Nihilist pattern las carbines, which actually look very, very similar. I can't really see what the difference is between those two. I guess the stub at the front's slightly different. And of course the Van Saar variant plasma gun. They also have a new weapon here, which is the rad cannon. That's 130 credits, pretty sweet. They also have the energy shields, which is kind of a Van Saar feature. That's that cool plastic bit we saw in a previous video. More equipment list as well. We're not going to go through that. So more stuff for House Goliath, Warlocks, things like that. The Brutes are pretty cool. They have the new Ambot, which is based off the Amble, but it's a robotic drill version. This one's got the Escher markings painted up on it, which is kind of cool. It's called Mr. Chomper, Carrion Queen's House Escher Ambot, which is kind of fun. You can also get an Ogren too, or Ogren. Other fun stuff. Gub Targeson, aka Lumpy Knox, is another hive scum you can recruit. Oh, and there's also the Jotun H-grade Servitor Ogrins. There's some more cool stuff you can pick up there. There's an Escher Escher leader there, a Servo Skull, things like that. This also has some of the new exotic beasts. We saw some of these miniatures are coming out from Forge World. So, for instance, old Scartooth, the Cyber Mastiff. The Cyber Mastiff is coming in a dual kit from Forge World, which should be out soon. There's also the Cyber Arachnid, which is super creepy. There's also the Sump Croc for House Goliath. That's the House Goliath meat snapper, so that's the name of the Sump Croc. There's exploding rats in here too. This super creepy thing is a Karatid, I believe. So, yeah, I don't even want to get into that. Like I said, sprinkled throughout there's going to be these mercs and things like that. Skipping ahead. Arbitrated Campaigns. Again, this is campaigns where you have a game master or somebody at least keeping track in the background, and can help you kind of forge that narrative in a kind of better way. So, yeah, it's cool stuff. It's a different kind of campaign. Again, it's more of a story. There's new campaign events you can play around with as well. I wanted to get to the house favors, but I wanted to get to the new scenarios because I think these are really cool. So there's a handful of new scenarios. I think they're all listed here, but these are really fun, just new ways to play. Yeah, so for instance, Last Stand here, it's going to have slightly different setup. Attacker Defender still you can tactic cards and crews and stuff like that. Deployment's different than a regular deployment. Objectives are different. The defender must hold out as long as they can, while the attacker must wipe them out. And you are outnumbered. So again, this is kind of an asymmetrical fight, but things do change up here. Home turf advantage. So the defender has the home turf advantage. See page 52 of Gang War. So a little back real fast. You do have. Oh, that's in the big book. Excuse me. Yeah, victory skirmish only. Again, you can play these scenarios as part of the campaign or skirmish, things like that, which is kind of fun. So Last Stand's interesting. That's definitely asymmetrical. Escape the Pit. There's a couple more. Downtown Dust Up. Prison Break, which is a lot of fun. I wanted to skip over Monster Hunt. Also, if you want to do a fun monster fight, obviously. Multiplayer games. Back when I played way back in the early 90s, we would play a lot of multiplayer games just because of the way things worked out. They inevitably ended up with one gang coming out on top who would be super powerful, and then a lot of new starting over gangs would have to try to throw down and take them out. So multiplayer games definitely are a ton of fun. So how that works too, they talk about the priority and then attackers, defenders, and how to define that. And melee combat gets a little complicated with multiple players, but it is totally doable. And then it's got some special fights as well. And then the upgraded Underarm Armory, new status stuff like that. And then new scenery stuff, just showing off how you can do that as well. But this is a really great supplement. I think, again, for the Arbitrated Gang information, the new scenarios are awesome. The multiplayer games are a ton of fun. But probably the most important thing in here is if you're wanting to play Advanced Rs, this has got all of your rules. And even if you don't play Advanced Rs, it's got a bunch of extra expanded rules for everybody else in terms of equipment you can buy. So totally worth picking up and checking out. That's Gang War 3, the new supplement for Necromunda. I'm AdamHarry from BoLS. Thanks for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.